Okay. So the little thing on my camera says live. We're live on Facebook. We're doing live with Liz. My assistant Tanya did that. Live with Liz. Da 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 da. I feel like there should be like some kind of a song and dance with that. Live with Liz. It's live with Liz. We're live with Liz. Sorry, it's my old musical theater days. There has to be a song for everything. Right? Keep music in our lives. Okay, who's here? Come schmooze with me. Come say hello. Hello. Who knows what movie that's from? Hello. I'll give you a hint. It's Billy Crystal says it. Hello. Oops, I forgot to turn. I'm only live on YouTube. No. I'm live. Am I live in other places? If you can see me in other places, say, Barbie. Hi, Barbie Nyman. And Karen. Hello. Exactly. Hi, Bill Van Horn. Well, somebody in my office is telling me they can only see me on YouTube. I don't believe that. So if you can see me in the Celebrate Your Life Soul Fest group or on Facebook at all, would you tell me? I see myself on Facebook. Tanya, I don't know what you're talking about, sister. I'm in the Facebook group and now I'm blurry. Okay, my camera got blurry because I moved too much. I will sit very, very still. Here I am sitting still, sitting in stillness. See, that's what I thought. I'm on. Karen Hansen sees me. Lisa Copen. Hi, Lisa. I'm here. Wendy's here. Wendy, you and I just emailed about something. I think we emailed about drums. Did we email about drums? Hi. Hey, girl. Hey. You are in focus and live. Yeah, it's a little blurry, but that's okay. All right. Oh, my glasses are crooked. See, this is terrible when I could sit here seeing myself. Okay, I won't look at myself. I'm looking at you guys. So, everybody raise your hands if you've had enough of this shit. Whatever shit it is, just raise your hands. But I can't see your hands, so you have to give me a thumbs up or say, yep, you've had enough. Ready for change. Tammy B is, okay, maybe it's a different Wendy. I think I was messaging with somebody, another Wendy about drums. Okay, so if you've had enough of this already, then it's time to get creative. Oh, Barbie, I like that. Which shit? Exactly, Sherry. Okay, so I was thinking the other day, I've so had enough of this shit. All right, so here's what it is for me. I'm in Arizona, which is normally so lovely. Hi, Nancy. Any shit if you've had enough of it. So here it was for me. It's over 100 million degrees here in Arizona. So that means we can't go outside. So I can't go outside to exercise. So I've been inside to exercise, right? That's right, Bill. It's like the George Orwell statement. The shit is supposed to be continuous. No. So it's the heat. It's not being able to go to my favorite restaurant, which I'm also very sad about. One of my favorite restaurants, the Indian restaurant up here, owned by this lovely, oh, Tammy, let the shit fly. Why not? So if any of you are offended by me cursing too much, I'm apologizing in advance. I won't do the F-bomb, but I'll say the S word. Okay, I'll keep it tame today. So my favorite Indian restaurant closed, which I'm very sad about because this woman, Anjali, has been in the industry for like 16 years. And of course, we ordered lots and lots and lots and lots of to-go food to help support. And I ate lots and lots and lots of to-go Indian food. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to sustain her right now. And Stein Mart is closing. Steinmart. I get my favorite cashmere socks with no seams at Steinmart. So I guess what it really is, I'm getting texts that I will get, something's going on. I'm in Soulfest, Tanya. I'm in the Soulfest. Anyway, so the heat, things closing, the negative news, the energy, all of this other mishigas that's going on in our world right now. I get it. And just when I get at that point where I've had enough of it is when I really, really, I know that I've got to go and kind of take a step back and jump into my own creative well-being and start to think about, okay, there are other creative ways to handle what's going on here, and to stop and allowing my energy to get enmeshed in things that don't serve me. Whether it's binging on a TV show for too long, or whether it's getting stuck in minutia and not doing those things that serve me. How many of you have been feeling that lately, that you're getting too involved in things that just don't serve you? Whether it's sitting on Facebook for hours and going through your news feed and watching posts that are just not in your best and highest good or interest, or maintaining a lousy attitude. F-bomb. Thank you, Barbie. Or sometimes jumping into that space of having a lousy attitude. I did that the other day, and Sunday, I was just in a mood, and I really, really had to, or playing with your investments and screwing them up when you never should have. Yes, Bill. I had a feeling that's what you were talking about the other day, and I made a rookie business mistake the other day too. And you know what? Let's talk about that for a minute. So when you make a mistake, or when you digress into, a lousy place inside of yourself, what do you do? And I'm not saying that we don't get to be in lousy moods, or we don't get to feel sadness, or we don't get to feel, anything that we're feeling, or fear, or whatever it is. The key is, how quickly are you how long are you allowing yourself to stay in that? And what are you doing to kind of shift your energy out of that? So those are my questions. So I'd love to hear some feedback. So when you get into a bad space, when you, as Bill is sharing, he played with some investments and he screwed them up, and how long do you stay in that place of, oh, wow, I made a mistake, or I did a really silly thing the other day. I made a rookie business error. I made such a novice mistake that I don't know that I've done that in 20 years. And it was a mistake that caused us an oh shit moment. So how long do you stay in that place, and what do you do? What creative things do you do to kind of get yourself to move through that with love? All right, Sherry said, I left a chat group of old school friends last night, realizing it was draining my energy with negativity. I think I got taller with it no longer weighing on my shoulders. That's beautiful. I love that. I love that. Uh-oh, Tanya's still stuck. Girlfriend. We're going to move through that, Tanya, because you know that I made a mistake. Well, you weren't in the office that day, but I made kind of a big, oops. Anyway, and you get out of it as soon as possible. Sleep. Oh, wow. Sleep is really good. Sleep is so healing, Nancy. Yes, sleep is really healing. And so, Barbara, how do you get out of it when you're in it? When you've made a mistake, or you're in that negative kind of lousy place, what do you do to move through it? I want to hear from you. What do you move through it? That's really cute. I eat banana bread. That's adorable. I'm judging a lot by the quality of my sleep. Okay. All right. Sometimes the shifting of energy is somewhat interesting at times. Yeah. So I asked this question, and I got 446 responses of when they were talking about creative ways to shift out of God for a drive. Okay, God for a drive. I think you must have meant go for a drive, but I love God for a drive. Take God for a drive. I love that. Bill shares, it's been tough, and maybe that is the lesson. I'm trying to step back and learn the lesson. It's thrown me off, and I have to look at the fact I may have self-created it for a purpose. I know I must find a purpose, that if I find a new purpose and creative, none of this will matter. I try and learn the lesson of the discomfort and correct it. And Sherry Lynn, make of all the positive things you do. Yeah, but I liked God for a drive. Take God for a drive. Barbara smokes a joint. Well, that's one way of going through it, okay? Drugs are always, drugs and alcohol, it's always an option. But separate and apart from moving into an altered space with chemicals, although meditation can be an altered space, meditate. Tammy likes Barbara's idea. Okay, we're going to have the joint smokers over here to a chemically altered space. If we're not going to use chemicals, we can also use the chemicals of our own body to serve us. And the chemicals of our own body, of course, is being able to get your body moving, throwing on some music. I know I've said this to people 20,000 million times. And I love how the numbers increase the minute we start talking about smoking joints and using alcohol. And I don't mean to laugh at that, because certainly, that's an issue for that could digress into a negative space for people if you are dealing with issues in that arena. So I'm not making light of that. Food and diet is medicine, movement, breathing. Exactly. So I do throw on some music. I do shake my body up a little bit. And sometimes I just stay in that place. And I stay in that place until I'm ready to get off my butt and do something about it. Fortunately, in Arizona, most homes and most apartment places, I would say, have swimming pools. It's kind of just a thing out here. It's not like it is back east where it's a rare thing to have a swimming pool. So most people have swimming pools, and I jump in our pool and I'll try and do laps, or I'll try and, put some music on and dance around in the pool with some music on. Sometimes without my clothes on too. So I do something to really, really shake it up. Michelle, the big thing is to really be aware of the mood, and then either consciously choose a better feeling or find a way back into fun, like people are saying, baking, driving, reading, music, whatever you love. So I'm going to read some of the comments that people wrote, because it was really beautiful. And we had 450 comments about that. And so one of the things that people do right away, and I love this idea, if you're watching TV, turn it off. Turn off the TV. Go grab a really loving, positive book. A really loving, positive, fabulous book. I had to throw it in. Okay, so before I forget, I want to tell you guys before I forget, Elizabeth Gilbert. She's a phenomenal writer. And she's got this like zenness about her. For any of you that have seen her live at our events, she's going to be here on Facebook Live on Friday at 1:00 Pacific time with me. So make sure and come join me in the Soulfest group Friday, 1 p.m. Elizabeth Gilbert's going to be joining us. We're going to be talking all about City of Girls. We're going to be talking about her zenness and what she does to get out of funks and how she is dealing with life right now. So it's a totally free conversation. Come join us Friday, 1 p.m. right here on Facebook. Okay, so some of the things that people wrote, and I love this. Most of the people have written, they turn off the news. They only go to Facebook in those areas that they absolutely love. Breathing, affirmations, prayer, spiritual connection, journaling, meditation, nature. Nature's been so hard for me lately because it is wicked hot out here. So jumping in the pool does help. Of course, changing your thoughts, but I think that's really, I love that about changing your thoughts, but changing your thoughts is kind of hard when you've digressed into that really shitty space. Oh, my cousin here is Wendy Abrams Studner. Hi, Wendy. Wendy talks like this, so I'm going to talk like this for a second, except hers is much cuter when she does it. Cousin Wendy, everybody say hi to Cousin Wendy. All right, so it's really getting creative with when you're digressing into that place, what works for you. And I know that people people say, okay, well, I know that the normal things like turn the TV off, getting off of Facebook and only going into those groups that really support your energy or love your energy, journaling about it, journaling. I know people roll their eyes when you say journaling, but it really, really, really is helpful to write your feelings out, just to write what's going on. You'd be so shocked at what comes to you, just as you're writing, just as you're allowing yourself to let the energy flow through you. Because when we get stuck, okay, so let's think about this for a second. So we know that energy is real. And so if you've got energy, like if you put your hands together right now, go ahead and put your hands together. All right, you could feel the energy. If you get really, really quiet for a minute, feel the energy between your hands, right? We know that energy is real. We can feel that. Oh, and you can see, almost feel like your hands, when you bring them together, just very, very slowly, it feels like you're on polar opposites of a magnet. So you know how when you touch a magnet and it sort of pushes your energy back? Well, I can feel it right here. So if we have energy in our bodies and the energy is getting stuck and the energy isn't moving, so it's, visualize this energy right here, all right? Because you can feel the energy. And the minute you start to move it, then it does its magic, all right? The minute you start to move the energy and play with energy is when the magic really happens. So if you visualize in your body the energy just getting stuck and stagnant, right, and still, but if you start to move, that energy has a place to move. And it's the same thing with the mind. So does that make sense to you guys? Because I work a lot with my own, everybody's saying hi, Cousin Wendy. So if you just imagine yourself with a ball of energy here, right? And if you imagine that energy just getting really, really stuck and it gets stuck inside your body or it gets stuck inside your mind. So what you have to do is do something to move it, being proactive to move that energy. So whether it's actual movement, so it's actual exercise, it's actual moving of your body, whether it's doing sit-ups, whether it's jumping up and down, whether you're doing, dancing or something. Anything that actually gets your energy up and moving. And same thing if it gets stuck in your head. If you got all that energy of mental chatter, it's the same kind of energy that we have right here, you guys. It's no different. Energy is energy, right? So when you get stuck in that mental chatter and we say we're getting stuck, like Tanya just said, I'm stuck. It's just a matter of visualizing yourself actually moving that energy through you. And if it's the mental chatter thing, it's allowing yourself to move that energy through, whether it's shaking your head or shaking your body or doing something to get your energy up and moving. Oh, Ward Smith, it's little Bhagwan who has joined us. Perfect timing, Ward. We're talking about energy, man. So it's actually, if you visualize that this is all that energy is. So when you say you're getting stuck, it's just that energy getting stuck, because we know we're all made of energy. We know we've got energy, and we talk about energy like it's this elusive thing outside of us, ourselves. When it's within us, it's who we are. Its energy is all around us. So is to move that energy. And especially if you've got mind chatter, think about where does that mind chatter come from, right? It comes from where? It comes from choosing thoughts that maybe don't serve us or does serve us, right? So we have to shift our mind chatter. We've got to shift the mind chatter. So I remember years ago, and you know what, Ward, I'm going to address that in a second because it's really interesting. I was actually thinking today about everybody in the entertainment industry, as well as what we do and how to get unstuck from that energy as well. So I remember I was in a relationship. It was a really hard breakup on me. And I decided that I was going to have the discipline to only think about this person and obsess. You know how when you break up with somebody that your head is just chattering up and down, you're assessing every behavior. Okay, I was young at the time. I was like in my 30s. And every single behavior, everything was getting stuck in my head. And I finally decided that's it. I can't continue on this path because I was stuck in this abyss of energetic, like mind chatter. I was like stuck in this hamster wheel almost of energy. So I decided that I was going to allow myself only 15 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day to obsess about this person. That was it. 15 minutes a day to obsess on the relationship, to obsess on whatever it is I did, to just obsess on all that shit. I only gave myself 15 minutes. And after that 15 minutes, I had to stop. I had to stop. I had to train my brain to stop and shift the energy of my brain. And I noticed that when I did that, and this is where we come into all those neural pathways that I didn't have that vernacular at the time to talk about neural pathways, but I noticed a big shift in my body, and how I got through that breakup was one of the easiest breakups I'd ever had because I allowed my mind, I had the discipline to stop. I had the discipline to stop right then and there and start thinking about something else. So when you get obsessed on a thought, when you get obsessed in fear, or when you're getting yourself stuck in that energy, is to stop, is to have the discipline to say, stop. You take a breath and look around you. Become extremely present to what is happening around you. Extremely hyper vigilant about what's happening around you. And sometimes I even snap my fingers because that brings me back into the present. Snapping your fingers, clapping my hands, doing something that brings me back into the present auditorily, visually, and kinesthetically. So I'll plant my feet on the ground. I'll stomp a little bit. I'll look around. What am I looking at? Oh, I'm looking at the Facebook Live. I'm looking at my eyes right now. I'm looking at my comments. I'm in the present. You bring yourself back into your room. You bring yourself back into the space. Visually, auditorily, clap. Do something to bring yourself back in the body. Stomp your feet. Feel yourself. Hug yourself. I do this a lot to bring myself back. I pat my arms, pat my limbs to bring myself back into the present. It's a fantastic exercise to get your energy unstuck. If you can't get up and like dance, you pat your arms, pat your chest. And sometimes I even go, ah, and then I make myself laugh because I sound kind of funny, like, vibrating. You bring yourself back into the now, and you have the discipline to stop the mental chatter, to stop the emotional downward spiral that we all get into. Guys. It's not just you. We all do that shit. Okay? All right, let me take a look at some of your comments. Exactly right. It's all about energy flow. Yes, exactly. The energy, the happiness when you're watching Britain's Got Talent, Nancy. That's amazing. I love that. Barbie, she learned so much. Watch comedy, found things to laugh about, baby laughter, animals, and comedy. Laughter shifts your endorphins and helps to change the energy in a positive direction. You did that when you were going through cancer treatment. Yep, that is fantastic. Laughter, they say, is the best medicine. Well, it kind of is. I get too many ideas for creative things, then projects go in fish. It's hard to let all of my startup projects, so I guess I will. Exactly. You set an appointment with yourself to work on them. Like give yourself, if you're going to have some kind of a practice, make the practice be fun, right? The other thing I've been doing, and I didn't bring it into my office with me, it's in the other room. I have started a joy journal. I have never done this before, but I have started a joy journal. And the color of the journal, the cover is just so, so, so beautiful. And so I write in this journal all those things that bring me joy, all those things that bring me joy in my heart, in my soul, in all of my awareness, everywhere. So I want to address something else that Ward touched on. And that is, there's many of us who our businesses, our livelihood has been completely changed. And for those of you that are in the entertainment industry, I don't consider myself in the entertainment industry anymore, but we do live events, and our business model has had to change with it and get creative. So there has to be, and of course, you all know that I used to be an actress, and Ward was one of my colleagues. He actually did Chorus Line with me, and that was a long time ago, Ward. That was a really long time ago when dancing was in my repertoire, and singing and being on stage and acting. And it's wonderful that you've continued with it all these years, and you were always very quite talented. So it's taking your industry and thinking about what are the things that I have available to me in order to now make it different. How can I shift what I was doing into something now that I can do? So being an actor, if I was still in acting, and if I was a comedian like someone I know, on Facebook, there are these performances that you can do, and you can even get paid for it. Jewel, exactly. Jewel, I think you're a performer also, is to do things on Facebook. There's still this modality of filming, and you can still release something for $10 or $15, or do a performance and do it, or do readings. You could certainly, and I don't mean psychic readings, I mean play readings, or do something where you're still practicing your craft. Now, it's different. It's a different forum. I totally and completely get it. But there's definitely creative ways in which to, I'm not going to spend too long on that. Any actors out there that want to talk about this, I've got actually some really good ideas for you guys. We can talk about this on the side, but there are definitely still ways to keep your craft moving forward, and to still keep your name out there, to still keep yourself visible, to still keep working on your skills, and to keep your career moving forward. I know it's difficult because being on stage right now is just not happening. It's just not happening. Although there could be a way that you could do this on, there's a way. All right, we'll talk to all my actor friends and my theater friends out there. We'll talk about it. And Tammy, thank you so much. This has really, really been an interesting way. And so we've had to tap into all of our creativity and get all of our creative juices with me and Tanya and Diane and Janice and April, who's part of our social media team. We have to learn how to adapt. We have to, Exactly, Tammy. Shit gets thrown at us. Well, we have to learn how to move with the energy that is. We have to learn how to adapt. Now, I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to see. It's been working so far. Knock on wood, right? It's been working so far. But when we get hit with these situations, are we using all of our creative energy and our creative juices to do those things that keep us in a space of uplifting our energy, supporting our energy, nurturing our energy, nourishing ourselves, and honoring our spirits? I mean, that's really most important, to keep moving forward and doing those things that support you. Oh, I kind of like that one, Bill. I really like that. Esoteric self-empower online college with degrees and soon live classes and graduation. Yes, let's do it. Absolutely. I wanted to share with you that not only, here's the book again. So we're going to be talking to Elizabeth Gilbert on Friday here at 1 p.m. It's actually going to be in the Soul Fest group. She's also, and do I have any questions? Does anybody want to ask any questions about creativity and any, I have a weird skill in that if you have an area, mostly careers, if you have a career stuck question or energy question about career or being stuck in that arena, I'm really good at brainstorming. That's one of my skill sets, is being able to brainstorm and look outside the box. And Ward, there's more for actors certainly right now that we could talk about. But if any of you have any questions about that, I'm pretty good at that because I've had to be so creative in my lifetime. with my careers. When I was noticing that my energy was slipping from being an actress, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And literally, this whole thing with Mishka Productions opened up, and I had to get very, very creative with my own skills and abilities, which really were just being on stage at that point and being a damn good waitress and bartender. Well, maybe an okay bartender. So it's amazing. And Susan, you're right. When we are open to shifting, it's amazing the creative ideas that appear. Good. All right, you just started reading the book too. So just keep in mind that there's always a creative solution for almost everything. There is always a creative solution. Remember that. Deepak said it. There's always a spiritual solution. I think there's always a creative solution to anything that you're going through. So again, I want to share with you, Friday, we're going to be here at 1 o'clock with Elizabeth Gilbert. And this is kind of exciting. On October 31st, we're going to be doing an event with Elizabeth Gilbert and Rob Bell. Now, if you've never seen Rob Bell or Elizabeth Gilbert, this is a great opportunity to see them. It's going to be a full day workshop on Saturday, October 31st, and we're doing it online. This was supposed to happen in person. We had over like 500 people signed up for the live event, and we've just moved everything to the online program. And if you guys are interested, here's the URL if you want to just go ahead and take a look at that. That will, we still have some tickets left. I don't think there's going to be too much of a cap on it because we are, it's online, and we found a platform that can take as many people as we want. But the beauty of this program is that we're all going to be able to see each other. And we might jump into like some breakout sessions so you can kind of meet each other. So it feels we're still like grabbing the intimacy of the program, you know, the programs that we do. Colleen is talking. She's lost when it comes to looking for work. There just isn't a lot out there, and I'm not overly creative. Well, I'll bet you if you and I had a conversation, there's something that you do that is a special gift and talent just for you that you could absolutely do something with and start creating and moving your energy into doing something that you've always been passionate about. Neil Donald Walsh asks an amazing question during his workshops. He always asks, if money weren't an issue, and Sonia Choquette asks this too, if money were not an issue, what would you be doing? If money weren't an issue, what would you be doing? Because that's a wonderful, wonderful place to start when you're thinking about your career, when you're thinking about what your passion is, when you're thinking about where it is that you want to go in your life. Again, if money weren't an issue, what would you be doing? And start from there. You start from there. And then what can you offer someone? Is there a service? Is there some way that you can serve the world? And how can you be of service to the world and people around you? That rings true to your heart. Bill shared, I'm stuck. I am restarting my service self after finance. I want to move into a different type of teaching, one that suits the new me, but I don't know exactly what will fit my strengths. Any advice for moving into the self-empowerment spiritual service world? Yeah, I taught a whole class on becoming a spiritual speaker. Yes, so I have a great suggestion. We can, if you're looking to be a spiritual speaker or a spiritual coach, public speaking, teaching people who they really are. Oh, I have so many great ideas. That actually, the spiritual speaking course is down right at the moment. But once we put that back up again, Lynn and Bill, that would be perfect for you both. It's a great course that Sunny and I created, and it really teaches you, if you're interested in being a spiritual speaker, how to go about doing that. And Sunny handles all of the internal, the passion. Lynn, I love that. Tanya, make sure and write Lynn and Bill's number down. Once we we put that program back up again, I'm thinking you guys might want to take that, or at least take a look at it. I'm not trying to sell you something, but that might help you, because I get this question quite often, is how do you become a spiritual speaker? How do you even start in the industry? Like, what do you need to do? And I speak to more of the technical things. I speak to more of the marketing ideas, and Sunny speaks to more of the internal process of defining your message, of how to really, really solidify what your message is, and defining who you are and how you are going to serve people out there. Exact. Selena, for some reason, I thought you took that already. Okay, at any rate, we'll make sure and get that to the three of you, Selena, Lynn, and Bill, as soon as we launch that program. Okay, Colleen, there you go. Okay. All right, so here's the deal. I'm just gonna write your names down so I know, because Tanya can't seem to find that. It's Bill Van Horn, and I know Bill. I know everybody here. Lynn McLaughlin and Selena Hodges. There you are. Selena and Colleen. All right, I'll make sure that you guys that we notify all of you. And you know what? If you would do me a favor and private message me, just PM me on Liz Dawn Donahue, just private message me your email addresses, and I'll make sure that you get put on a list for something like that. Because this is something that you could absolutely benefit from if this is a passion of yours. Hi, Laura Sangston. You guys, I've known Laura since I've been 16 years old. We went to high school together. How cool is that? All right, so I'm reading some of your suggestions here. Susan, for me, the marketing, reaching out is my challenge. Training education is extensive. Oh, I could use the public speaking too. I'm pretty strong. You're a pretty strong introvert. Okay, Susan, I'll make sure you get the link also. And so I talk a lot about marketing in terms how to really, if you're going to be a public speaker. I didn't plan on talking about this. You're all giving me your phone numbers. Don't give your phone numbers. Private message me your email addresses. Did I say phone numbers? I meant to say email. Just go onto my personal Facebook page. It's Liz Dawn Donahue, and just private message me your email addresses, and I'll make sure that you get into this. But I kind of go through the basics of how to really start to market yourself and how to get out there and where to begin. Because I get that question a lot, is I want to be I want to be a spiritual speaker, but how do I get started? So that's okay. Tammy, you too. Sorry, guys. I had absolutely no idea we were doing this. I hadn't planned on it. But see the energy. See, you just move with the energy. That's it. And that's what the energy spoke to me about, talking to everybody about this. Yeah, we've taught the class twice now. It is online. It's evergreened online, but we're going to launch it again so we can do some coaching, like private Facebook things. We'll create a private Facebook group for the class, and we'll do some coaching in there as well. Because again, I never in a million years thought I would ever know how to do something like this. This wasn't a gift or talent of mine at all, Colleen. The only thing I really, really knew how to do, this really speaks to you being stuck about jobs. The only thing I really ever knew how to do was to be on stage again. And I was also a waitress. And I also, no, that's not true. I was hired once as an activities director for a 4,200 unit townhouse complex in downtown LA in the Fairfax district of Los Angeles. I had no experience with this at all. And I'm going to say this, I lied on my resume to get the job because I really needed a job. Well, I got the job and I was great at the job. I don't know how I knew how to do that naturally, but I did. So I was an events coordinator. I was the activities coordinator, and I threw parties for a living, but I was also an actress at the same time. And so that natural talent that I didn't know I had, is how we kind of started Mishka Productions. So there might be things that you have inside of you. There might be gifts and talents that you have inside of you that could create a business. And here we are 25 years later, still going strong. So, you just never, ever, ever know any gift and talent that you might have that could turn into work for you, Colleen. Okay, so that's it, you guys. That's all I'm going to talk about right now. And I'm so excited for Friday. So please come join us Friday. Put it on your calendar. Friday at 1 p.m. I'll be in the Soul Fest group. I don't know where most of you are watching me right now. If you could just in the comments tell me where you're watching me. If you're watching me on my personal page, just say personal page or Soul Fest group or Soul Tribe group or women's group. Just let me know where you're watching me, and I'll make sure and post it in that group so you guys know where we will be live and in person with the fabulous Elizabeth Gilbert. She is so lovely. She is lovely, lovely, lovely. She's like this little Zen master. She's so relaxed. She's one of the most relaxed women I have ever met. She's got this really wild and cool Zen energy about her. So come be with us on this Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. All right, everybody, celebrate your life. Okay, I'm glad you stumbled on this. Sherry Lynn, yay. Let it go with Denise Lynn. Yes, that's almost over by the end of the month. So yes, I think that's over at the end of the month. So I can't be in the Let It Go group right now. I hope I'm not. Uh-oh. All right, you guys, thank you all so much. Love you all so much. And it's just a pleasure to share this time with all of you. Okay. Mwah!